All right, people. Let's begin this. All right. So I wanted to make this, man. These are some amazing drawings. Holy shit, man! I'm looking at this art Instagram, and it's like shocking how good these drawings are, man. Um. Anyway, so I, my goodness in heaven, this dude is incredible. Anyway, so I want to talk about why you shouldn't trust these old. I mean, why you shouldn't trust women. All right. Um. And look, guys, this is not as a way to rant. This is more about not everything that shines is gold. This relates to when a guy says, "Hey, you," and she says, "Yeah, I don't have nothing," and you guys just go and fuck them raw, right? It relates to this kind of trust, the kind of blind trust you feel for people, simply because you like the way they look, simply because you're trusting the appearances. In this regard, you should not trust women because women are the ultimate chameleons. Women, they know what you want, they'll put on their face, and we are stupid enough to believe their goddamn lies, right? And what would happen is if you buy into women's lie, what it would tends to happen is that you're gonna begin to be their defender. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna begin to be their white knight. That's white knights are the guys that believe women's lie. That are the guys that believe that women are paragons of virtue, the embodiment, the walking embodiment of holiness. You know. So look, man. I say this because I got a lot of clients that call me, and a lot of them are not that they're dumb, but anytime I hear somebody say they had sex with a girl without a condom, I just shake my head. I'm like, are you fucking stupid, my dude? Just because she looks angelic, just because she tells you she doesn't have anything, doesn't mean she doesn't have anything. Doesn't mean she's clean. It's kind of like a guy who tells me, Deluxe, I told her that I asked her if she's clean, and she says she's clean. What the fuck do you expect she's gonna say? Do you think she's gonna say, "Oh, wait a minute, time out. I'm glad you asked me that question. Actually, I have AIDS, I have gonorrhea, I have genital warts." Like, you think so? Do you think somebody's really gonna be honest and tell you I have something? What in your head, what you want is you want her to say, "Hey, just tell me, please say just tell me you're clean so I can fuck you up. Lie to me, all right? That's what I need you to do. Just lie to me. That's all you guys want. You just want a woman to lie to you. Look, guys, just because a woman shows that she likes you, just because she's acting submissive around you, doesn't mean she's really submitted. Doesn't mean she really likes you. Sometimes people put on their face simply because they don't want you to feel awkward. They don't want to feel awkward. They don't want to tell you they don't like you. So they'll act like they like you. Don't trust those appearances. Don't trust the things that women show you in their face. Trust their actions. So after the date, that's when you should begin to judge her. After the date, not during the date, unless she sucks your dick during the date. But after the date is when you see, does she really like me? Why? Because she'll see you again. Simple as that. But like, for example, when a woman doesn't like you and the date sucks dick, a woman will act like she likes you. I mean, they will do that. They will act like they like you because they don't want to make it awkward. So you might end up leaving a date and say, "Oh man, this date went well. Oh man, I fucked mine for attraction. I'm gonna text her when I get home because I know she likes me." No, no, motherfucker. She didn't like you. You weren't as tall as she expected. You didn't look like your photos, so she didn't want to make it awkward and say she needs to leave early. So she acted like she liked you. In fact, she asked for the strongest fucking drink so that she could deal with your nonsense. And then after you leave her, she'll act like she's gonna call you and she'll never hit you up again. And this is why a lot of us get confused. It's because they just didn't like you and they didn't want to make it awkward. That's all that happened. They didn't want to make it awkward. They didn't want to say, "I don't like you." So they acted like they like you to the point that it convinced you she liked you. To the point that it convinced you so much that even that you broke the rules and you began to double text her and you began to text her with LOLs and ha-has. Come on, man. You're trusting appearances. For me, just because a woman shows that she likes me, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. You're gonna have to put in the effort. You know how AMS likes to get his ass licked, right? I'm not. I'm not. I don't like getting my ass licked. I don't deal with that. So what I began to do, I let women lick my toes. That's my thing now. You can lick a whole lot of toes, right? Because again, if she wants to, hey man, if she's leaving me and she says she wants to get back with me, she's gonna have to pay the price. And I'm not an ass. I don't like getting my ass licked. So I'm like, you know what? Let me compromise and let him lick my toes. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, man, and that's what I want you guys to understand, man, because you see, the people who you shouldn't trust aren't the ones that don't look trustworthy. And it's not, and again, it's not to be paranoid. It's because we sort of over when we don't, when somebody looks extra nice, when somebody looks angelic, we overcompensate and assume that they don't have any flaws, and as a result, we overcompensate by trusting them more often than we trust most people. You see what I'm saying? So we have to go the other route and overcompensate on the other side, and just don't trust them, because your natural tendency is to trust them. So to balance it out, you just make the effort not to trust them, not to take anything they say seriously. You see, a woman's word is on pencil, not on paper. Just because this woman says, "Yeah, yeah, let's hang out tomorrow. I'm so excited to see you." Don't get excited. Don't just because, yeah, I want to see you. Don't get excited and be like, "Yes, I can't. Yeah, I got her." No, motherfucker. Mm-mm. You better make sure. You better plan a plan B. You better have a plan B ready and a plan C, because a woman's words is not on pen. It's on pencil. It's just you. You're like, another one better came up. But why does she act like she's excited to see you? Because she wants you to believe that you're gonna see her, so that you don't make other plans. She wants to have the option. She wants you to be her only option while she has other options. And do you blame her for it? You can't blame her for it. It makes, you gotta understand, for women, they struggle. One second. One second. Guys, you have to understand that women struggle. You know what I'm saying? They struggle because it's not that women struggle getting guys to be interested in them. That's not the problem. The thing is that women struggle under knowing which are the guys that really like them. Because imagine you're a woman, right? One second, let me get a drink of water. All right, all right, look, guys. Imagine if you're a woman, right? And imagine if you're a woman and you're really attractive, and you think, you're like, yeah, man, look at all these guys, man. You know, they're making me feel good, and you think they all like you, man. You see Alex hitting you up, you know. You see fucking Joker hitting you up. You see Amber hitting you up. You see fucking Sophia hitting you up. You see Master Epps hitting you up. You see AMS hitting you up. So you think like, oh man, they're all into me. And so you have sex with them, and then they just disappear. Like, you have sex with them once, twice, and then they just disappear on you, right? Or even worse, they don't disappear. They say, I like to take my time, you know. Or they say, yeah, I like you, but I like to take my time. Or even they say yes, but they have a boyfriend. Look, guys, you don't understand the shit that women go through. Like they think they found the perfect guy, and that dude is seeing other women. Like for example, you know how we tell you guys that you guys have to act like the asshole? The reason why is because the guys that women like, coincidentally, the only way the guys that women like coincidentally are always the liars and the cheaters. Why is that? Is it because they know the liars? Think about that. Is it that women know the liars? Is it that women just know liars and they just want to go out with them? No, it's that liars have a certain way of behaving that, thank you, Joker, for the $2 donation. Liars have a way of behaving that causes them to chase. They have a hot and cold thing about them. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know why, but I just can't really trust that dude. You know, it's kind of like, I like him, but I don't know how much he really likes me. You see what I'm saying? That's the quality. All right, let me see. So yeah, man, it's hard for women. So that's why women have to keep their options open, because not only that, but women also have a timetable. By the way, people, Don't forget to support the channel through getting my online course, Dark Game. In Dark Game, I don't know if all you guys who bought it, you guys know I have a section all based on female nature. You know, these are one. This is one of the topics I talk about not trusting them, because not trusting them allows you to have realistic expectations for women, so that you know not to trust them and you don't get disappointed by them. You know what I'm saying? But we think we could trust them. That's a problem. It hurts because we have an expectation that doesn't meet reality. So anyways, what I was saying. So yeah, man, and damn, what was I saying? Fucking female. I was saying female nature, and not female. Damn, guys, help me out. I was talking about female nature or something. Can't trust us. Yeah, can't trust you guys. So yeah, I was gonna bring up a point though. There was another point that I was gonna say. Yeah. Fuck, I forgot. Whatever. I wonder why. I wonder why my memory is going to shits. I don't understand why my memory is not that good. It makes no sense. So yeah, man, it's unfortunate you can't trust people, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Yeah, female. So yeah, I have a part on female nature and stuff like that we go into it. But yeah, I really forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, man, just because a woman acts like she's interested, my man, don't take it for granted. Assume she's gonna lose interest. Assume she's gonna lose interest. And it's not to be paranoid, it's not to be butthurt, but it's just to be realistic, man. Women have it bad. That's what I was saying. They have it bad, man. They have to deal with guys who want to bang a lot of women, and they just want to settle. So imagine that. It's kind of like you want to settle, but everyone wants to bang. But then everyone's telling you, yes, I want to settle. But in reality, they don't want to settle. They just want to bang. So, that's why women, it's a little harder for them, because women don't want to have a lot of guys under the belt. They don't. Like, they do, but they don't. Like, they want to keep it under a moderate level. But the problem they encounter is that they have to meet guys to find the right guy, and sometimes it's always the next dude. Oh, this is it, and it ends up being a disappointment. And then the next one, this is it, and it ends up being a disappointment. And it's not just disappointment; it's that one, they're adding a lot of numbers, and they don't want that. Women don't like that, right? And two, they're every time it doesn't work out, it hurts. Thank you, Pedro, for the $10 donation, man. Much appreciated. Every time it doesn't work out, it hurts. So it's extra baggage. So that's why they keep their options open. And that's why they should not worry about one dude. And that's why with you guys, that's why you shouldn't trust them. Not because they're evil. Some are evil. Some women are evil, though. Don't get me wrong. But that they're looking out for their self-interest. And that's another part of female nature that I have in my course about. And that's the number one part of female nature, that they're self-interested creatures. But it's not a bad thing. Like, they're human beings and they want to live and they want stability. I mean, it's like any other human being. It's not a bad thing. It's not that women are bad, but that they just want stability, man. Like, what do you want them to do? Like, it looks evil when we want sex, right? And they want something more, and they're trying to trick us or coerce us into staying. But you got to see it from the perspective that they feel lonely, and it's a woman's worth is not based on how many guys want to fuck them, because every guy wants to fuck every woman. It's based on how many dudes want to stay with me. And I can promise you that women actually look at that. They look at women with husbands, and they feel bad because they're like, fuck, like, that's not me, So it's understanding that part of female nature that allows you to not feel that bitter towards them, because women are easy to hate, easy to fucking hate. I can promise you that. But when you hate them, how could you really not react to them? Like, when you hate women and they flake on you, you're gonna be like, fuck that bitch, man. She's like every other woman, and you're gonna be extra emotional, extra butthurt, and that's not gonna help you with getting women. That's not gonna help you at all, So you gotta, you gotta understand female nature, expect it, and accept it when it happens to you. Not get butthurt about it, because that's what. Let me tell you something, man. Once a woman feels like you're butthurt, she knows you're not. She knows you're not about that life, She knows you don't get women, and she knows it's all an act. And what you guys have to understand is that women consistently are running into phony men, like men who act cool, but as soon as they get laid, they act needy. For example, I remember one time. This one girl who it was before I became a dating coach, that I was teaching, and no, I was watching a Mayweather fight. Long story short, I don't know what happened, but she was into me, and I was sitting like in a sofa watching the fight, and she was sitting in front of me. Right? It was just a coincidence, but there was a lot of people. Long story short, she took me back to her place. She sucked my dick and balls for like 1 hour. That was the first time somebody sucked my dick for that long. So it was definitely it was definitely it's my, I sort of, my body sort of went on, I didn't have enough RAM, it was too much pleasure. Anyways, so I was like, fucking shit, man, I need to get my dick sucked again like that, So I hit her up, and I'll be honest with you, she was like, dude, I didn't know you were gonna be like this, man. I thought you were cool. I thought you were just gonna let me suck your dick and just leave. And I'm like, no, bitch, I don't get this often. I want more, right? Right? So what happens with women? Women, you're like, man, I thought he was cool, man. Fuck, man. Damn, I gave it to this fucking loser. Damn. I thought this dude was cool, man. I thought I read him properly. God damn it, man. I gave a loser pussy. Fuck. Damn. That's how women think. That's how women think. They're like, I cannot believe I cannot believe we let him have fun. No, it's like to losers, quote unquote, to their losers, the definition of losers, they don't get laid. Only the cool dudes get laid. So it's one of those things that a woman will show you in her face. She will show you that she wants more attention, right? Like it feels like when a woman likes you, it feels like you have to show more attention. You see what I'm saying? It's actually the opposite. When she's acting interested, you got to keep that up. The only reason why she's interested is because she's interested in finding out if you like her. It's not that she's interested in staying. She's interested in finding out if you like her. But if you keep her in that state of being interested, whether or not you like her, if you keep her in that state, constantly thinking that she finally made it, and then suddenly you moonwalk your ass back, and you sort of take one step forward and one step back. If you keep that pattern going, she's gonna be mentally fucked up to the point that she's just gonna say, man, dude, I'll do anything. Please tell me if you like me or not. Like I just, it's killing me inside. That's how you want her to get it. Hey, we got Nika with the, hey, thank you for the £5 donation. Much appreciated, my man. Much appreciated. For the love, people. Yeah. All right. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna put a section of mastery that I want you guys to listen to, and that I find very fascinating. And if anybody has any questions, just let me know, and support the channel. By the way, how much is £5? £5 is like $7. $7. Who could be Wild Pedro? Who could be Wild Pedro with a $20 donation? I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think anyone's gonna do that. I don't think anyone's gonna beat that $10 donation. I can promise you that for sure. But we'll see. And yes, it's a challenge. People are saying, "Oh, he's trying to trick us." Yeah, it is a trick, but I doubt anyone's gonna do that. I can promise you that. I know you guys. All right, let's see. All right, here's my favorite part of the book, Mastery. It's beautiful. Hey, thank you, Z, for the $4.99 donation. He says, should you play the numbers game or always wait for signals from a woman? It depends. If you're gonna see her, if she's like at your work or social circle and you know you're gonna see her often, let her choose you. But if you're never gonna see her and she's walking down the street and you know you're never gonna fucking see her again, then go ahead and approach. Here's the fair part of the book.
In any way possible.
Thank you, A, for the $2 donation. Much appreciated.
Should strive to be because it is so powerfully a part of. Some might see a person.
Here's my favorite part of the book.
Mastery was not over this subject.
Ready?
Implanted in him at birth. devoting his life to literature and creating a sensation. And so he chose his own unique and strange path in life, guided by an inner force that he called his demon, a spirit of restlessness that impelled him to
Hey, $15 donation from Ari. Thank you so much, man. There you go. Beating Pedro. Good shit. There you go. Take Pedro off his throne. Good shit.
Or beyond literature, to the core of life itself. All that was necessary was to master and channel this spirit, implanted in him at birth. In the sciences, he followed his unique path, looking for deep patterns in nature. He extended his studies to politics, economics, and history. Returning to literature in the last phase of his life, his head now teemed with links between all forms of knowledge. His poetry, novels, and plays were suffused with science, and his scientific investigations were suffused with poetic intuitions. His insights into history were uncanny. His mastery was not over this subject or that one, but in the connections between them, based on decades of deep observation and thinking. Goethe epitomizes what was known in the Renaissance as the ideal of the universal man, a person so steeped in all forms of knowledge that his mind grows closer to the reality of nature itself and sees secrets that are invisible to most people.
Oh man, I love that part. So beautiful. Listen to that part again. To me, this is who Leonardo is. This is the book Mastery by Robert Greene. Listen to this part again.
Scientific investigations were suffused with poetic intuitions. His insights into history were uncanny. His mastery was not over this subject or that one, but in the connections between them, based on decades of deep observation and thinking. Goethe epitomizes what was known in the Renaissance as the ideal of the universe.
For example, let's put Leonardo in this, right? Leonardo da Vinci, I love saying his name. Leonardo da Vinci was a man of a spectacular grace. Anyways, Leonardo was an amazing painter, don't get me wrong. But he was also interested in optics. Optics is a study of light, like literally the study of light. So a lot of artists back then, they weren't interested in science like Leonardo was. So he would study optics, he would study the flow of water, he would study perspective, he would study geometry for the sake of improving his art, he would study anatomy. He started dissecting people, dissecting animals, because he thought that how could he understand the body without understanding what goes inside? So that's the key. He not just became good at art. Like, for example, you might say, dude, why are you studying the body? You could be practicing drawing. No, by studying the body, even though it's not related to drawing, it could, by studying the body, it just makes you a better drawer. Because you could draw something that most people can't. Or by studying light, it allows you to by studying light and shadows, allows you to show volume and deeper dimension in drawings. Like it just gives your drawings more dimension and more depth. So he studied that. Where most people were just focusing on drawing, he was literally studying the art and science of optics and shadows. And so it wasn't necessary, but because he studied that, he could have been drawing for 10 years and somebody drawing for 20 years. But if that person who was drawing for 20 years never studied optics, Leonardo was just going to be better than him. It's just how it is, because his knowledge was more diverse. All right.
So man, a person so steeped in all forms of knowledge that his mind grows closer to the reality of nature itself and sees secrets that are invisible to most people.
Oh Lord, that part just blows my mind. He said when someone's knowledge is so diverse that it reflects the that it reflects nature itself, that as a result you can see secrets that other people cannot, that's hidden to them. That is fucking mind-blowing and so true. You know, people who when they discover something, you're like, fuck, why didn't I think of that? It wasn't because you couldn't think of it. It's that you have to know this and this and this and this and this, and then think about them so much that there's a point that they just randomly collide. And that collision creates a moment of serendipity. And then you just suddenly have a new knowledge. You're like, holy shit, I just got a new insight. Why? Is because one, you had a specialization in many fields that were diverse and that made you unique. And because of your specialization in these different, uniquely different fields, you were the only one capable of discovering that. It was almost like you were meant to discover that secret. Now, what's that secret? I don't know. That secret is meant for you to discover. That secret is your ultimate accomplishment. That secret for Einstein was relativity. For Leonardo da Vinci, it was science and drawing. For Floyd Mayweather, it was boxing and defense and being able to hit and not get hit, right? For Sir Isaac Newton was gravity. For Delexis, I don't know, fucking doing this shit, I don't know. But everyone has their destiny. And their destiny is written out first in your inclinations, in the things you like. The things are that naturally, the interest that you have are the tools to guide you to your destination. What you got to do is pay attention to those interests, because those are the things that will guide what you will study. Am I making sense? All right, we got a $20 donation. Oh, somebody beat them. All right. What are the signs that you have a good woman? When I say a good woman, I mean a woman that is going against her nature. I'm gonna keep supporting you because you always teach me something every day. Thank you, dude. A good woman is a woman who notices you when you're down, who will comfort you when you're down. A good woman. What else? A good woman. Oh, that's a big one. How she deals with stress. Like, to me, that's a big one. How do you deal when things don't go your way? And also, this is another one. Are you the type of woman who gets revenge? Do you try to get revenge on people? Do you talk shit about other people? Is she constantly talking shit behind her friend's back? Or is she constantly trying to get her friends back, even though they're wrong? Those things, to me, is a sign of somebody of quality or non-quality. For example, I have a friend of mine. He's one of my best friends. And long story short, we had an argument because his friend's friend was disrespectful to me, you know? And she was clearly disrespectful. Anyways, we had an argument. It got to the point that he knew that her friend was wrong, right? But when he was talking to her, he would tell her that she's wrong. But when she was talking to us, he would say good things about her. He would say, "Yeah, I know she's wrong, but you know, maybe it's because she's going through this." And I'm like, interesting. I'm like, he can easily talk bad about her, but he doesn't. Like, he's defending her when she's not around, but when he's talking to her, she's telling him that he's telling her that she's responsible. So I'm like, you know, this dude doesn't talk behind people's back, because clearly she's wrong, and yet he still has her back. I'm like, that's a person of great character. That's someone I could definitely trust, 100%. Simply because I was observing that. So notice how they treat other people. How do they notice if they have a double face? Like, do they have friends that they act all friendly, and then when they leave, they'll say, "Fuck, I hate that motherfucker." And you know what's funny is that people will do that. People will do that because they don't notice that you're paying attention. Like, they don't notice that you're actually judging them at that moment, so they'll do that. You know, so that's a big one. A big one is, how do they treat other people? How do they treat their friends? How do they talk back? Do you notice there are two sides of her? You know, so pay attention to that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I would do. What else? What's another thing of a woman of character? Let me see, what else? What else? A big one also is her sexual history, and you'll never find that out though. You never find her sexual history. I can tell you that. You never. You just she won't tell you the truth. She'll take that shit to the she'll take that shit to the grave. So yeah, man. Hopefully that I was able to help you. Yeah. Good shit, Z, man. I bet no one's gonna beat that 20. I can promise you that. You're gonna be on top. You're gonna be on top all day. All right, let's see.
Today, some might see a person such as Goethe as a quaint relic of the 18th century, and his ideal of unifying knowledge as a romantic dream. But in fact, the opposite is the case. And for one simple reason.
Why?
The design of the human brain, its inherent need to make connections and associations, gives it a will of its own.
Get out of here.
Although this evolution might take various twists and turns in history, the desire to connect will win out in the end, because it is so powerfully a part of our nature and inclination. Aspects of technology now offer unprecedented means to build connections between fields and ideas, The artificial barriers between the arts and the sciences will melt away under the pressure to know and to express our common reality. Our ideas will become closer to nature, more alive and organic.
That is so beautiful. I love how he says our ideas will get closer to nature, because think about it. Everything that we do reflects nature. Everything, even the tools we use to create comes from nature. So the most important skill as an individual is one thing: the ability to observe your environment. The ability to know your environment is the most important skill to survive. If you don't know your environment in an island, you're gonna die. If you don't know your environment, if you don't know who are the best people at what, if you don't know who are the best at that, or who are the ones that are being ostracized and why, you got to know your field. You got to know the people. You got to know the kind of people that are in that place, what they want, what they don't want, their self-interest, you got to know all of that. And if you don't have that, you're not reflecting nature. You see, you got to know actually, anyways, I sometimes I get ahead of myself when I think. Yeah.
Any way possible, you should strive to be a part of this universalizing process, extending your own knowledge to other branches, further and further out.
You see, people in the scientific field, some of them are doing such a disservice to themselves by limiting themselves to just studying one field. It could be because of funding or because they want to keep their field or their position. I understand, but you're doing a disservice because by not expanding your knowledge base, you're limiting yourself. You're staying in one. It's like a fucking it's like a swamp. It's not filtered. You know, you just keep the same water, and so you guys keep regurgitating the same idea. Get out of that field. Go on into a new country. Go into a new field where you're uncomfortable and be uncomfortable. Wake up that part of you that is dead. That part of you that stopped learning. Wake it up. Once you wake up that part of you of learning, when you actively learning, when you're actively struggling, suddenly new ideas begin to come. Your engine now is working. When you master a field, the last thing you want to do is stay there. Move on to something else, because then the mastery of your field, you can use it for the next field, and it gives you an advantage, either an advantage of perspective, or because your field gives you more popularity. For example, I'm a YouTuber. I start doing quote unquote art. Now the advantage that I have is, one, my knowledge of mastery, the only advantage I have, and two, people know me, so they'll buy from me more simply because they know me. All right, not because of my skill. So those are my advantage. So I'm bringing that advantage into that field, and guess what? That advantage is working out. I'm learning faster because of applying the things that I learned from mastery, right? And also people are recognizing. Some people want to buy some of my drawings, right? Because of the advantage that I have. But if I would have just stuck to teaching dating, all right, that's fine, but it wouldn't make me unique. Now I have a unique advantage in selling my art. So this would have maybe taken me years, but let's just say I did it intentionally. Let's just say that I intentionally became a dating coach because I wanted to sell my art. It would have been a fucking brilliant idea, because I would have developed my audience, and now I'm using that audience to sell my art. Sometimes these things happen coincidence, not because of chance, but because you're following your inclinations. Who says this was meant to be? Maybe this was meant to be, but it's only meant to be when you follow your inclinations. Follow that passion, follow that desire that you have inside of you. You don't know what's going to turn out. You just don't know. Sometimes you just need to get fired from your job, which forces you to do that. That's what happened. I got fired, so I got forced to do this. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see.
The rich ideas that will come from such a quest will be their own reward. Reversal.
Wait a minute. Do not be a jack of all trades. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is master something. And then once you master it, move on. I'm not saying do one thing for 1 year and then move on. I'm saying deeply go into something for a few years and then move on. Don't you? How long have I been reading Robert Greene's book? for like 3 years already. This is my apprenticeship per se. This is my immersion. I'm immersing myself in Robert Greene University, quote unquote, right? So I didn't just read his book once. I mean, come on. I mean, how many times do I talk about this book? How many times do you guys think I read this book? It's been more than 40 times, I believe. More than 40 times, right? The reason why is because this is my form of apprenticeship. I'm not just doing this for a short time and then moving on to another book. No, I gotta let my brain tell me when I'm done. My brain still says I gotta keep listening. Like when I listen to, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding with you. When I listen to this book, it feels like it's literally inside my brain. Like it feels like I just pay attention more. Like I just like it just goes at the root. You know, have you ever like just paid attention to someone intensely? That's how it feels like when I'm reading this book. And that's why I tell you guys, pay attention when your body naturally like increases its focus. Like it just increases its focus because it's your body saying, hey, dude, I like this. Keep reading this. Like I like what you're doing. And that's what I'm doing. Until my body stops doing that, I'm not going to stop reading that book. And remember, before that, it used to be what book I used to recommend a lot. Who can tell me what book I used to recommend a lot before? I don't think anyone could remember. Who can tell me that? Because you're reading it with the voice inside your head. Maybe. I don't think anybody can tell me the book I used to recommend a lot. The reason why I say this is because before Robert Greene, I had another book that I used to read a lot. And that got me to this point that I immersed myself in, you know? I don't think anyone remembers. Nope. Nah. You guys weren't here when we started. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Psycho-Cybernetics. Exactly. Psycho-Cybernetics. That was a book because it was speaking to me at the time. It was giving me something that I didn't have, the ability to change my mindset, right? Once I got that down, then my body said, all right, let's listen to Robert Greene's books. And this is how it is. You got to pay attention. All right. By the way, who could be 20? Who can be 20 today? Who could be 20? I don't think anyone's going to be 20 today. I can promise you that. And yes, it is my trick.
To mastery is to deny its existence or its importance, and therefore the need to strive for it in any way. But such a reversal can only lead to feelings of powerlessness and disappointment. This reversal leads to enslavement to what we shall call the false
path. Oh, false
Your
self.
false self is the accumulation of all the voices you have internalized from other people. Parents and friends who want you to conform to their ideas of what you should be like and what you should do, as well as societal pressures to adhere to certain values that can easily seduce you. It also includes the voice of your own ego, which constantly tries to protect you from unflattering truths. This self talks to you in clear words, and when it comes to mastery, it says things like, mastery is for the geniuses, the exceptionally talented, the freaks of nature. I was simply not born that way.
Nope, don't think that,
or
people.
It says, mastery is ugly and immoral. It is for those who are ambitious and egotistical. Better to accept my lot in life and to work to help other people instead of enriching myself. Or it might say, success is all luck. Those we call masters are only people who are at the right place at the right time. I could easily be in their place if I had a lucky break. Or it might also say, to work for so long at something that requires so much pain and effort, why bother? Better to enjoy my short life and do what I can to get by. As you must know by now, these voices do not speak the truth. Mastery is not a question of genetics or luck, but of following your natural inclinations and the deep desire that stirs you from within. Everyone has such inclinations. This desire within you is not motivated by egotism or sheer ambition for power, both of which are emotions that get in the way of mastery. It is instead a deep expression of something natural, something that marked you at birth as unique.
Oh, I love
in
this,
following
man.
your inclinations and moving toward mastery, You make a great contribution to society,
Yep.
enriching it with discoveries and insights, and making the most of the diversity in nature and among human society. It is in fact the height of selfishness to merely consume what others create and to retreat into a shell of limited goals and immediate pleasures. Alienating yourself from your inclinations can only lead to pain and disappointment in the long run, and a sense that you have wasted something unique. This pain will be expressed in bitterness and envy, and you will not recognize the true source of your depression.
Yo, this is so true, right? Because a lot of you guys are just haters. Some of you guys, not a lot of you guys, some of you guys are haters, just hating on people and all that sort of stuff, and feeling jealous. We all feel jealous, and we all hate on people from time to time. This could be the source of your unhappiness. The fact that you're not on your path. You know, this is such a powerful book. You guys don't understand. Like, I listened to this book, and it's like, man, what the fuck? It's like, I can't get enough of it, man. It's like, it's just so incredible. I don't know how the fuck Robert Greene come up with this book. It's such a beautiful book. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, anyways. Oh my goodness, it happened. Z, dude, what is this? Are you Richard Branson, bro? I mean, you always be donating. What the hell are you doing, man? All right, let's see. Z, I think this is Richard Branson. I don't know. I have a few questions, sir. Man, you carrying this channel. That's what you're doing, man. You're carrying this channel. You're like LeBron. I have a few questions, sir. How can you tell me the difference between fake friends and true friends? All right, fake friends will sort of, let me see. First of all, you're going to be a little suspicious of them. All right. Another thing is that sometimes they'll congratulate you, but they'll just say it with words, but their face won't show it. They're like, oh, I'm happy for you, you know? Or even when you talk about bad news, let's say you give them bad news, there'll be a slight hint of happiness. Let's say you give them good news, there'll be a slight hint of unhappiness in their face. Another thing about them is that, let me see, you could tell that they only hit you up when they want something. What else? Some of them don't hang out with you unless other people are hanging out with them. What's another thing fake friends do? They talk behind your back, right? What else? They give you advice that go against your self-interest, like saying, dude, just quit your job, man. You'll find a job. Just quit your job. What else? You'll hear that people are saying that they're talking about you. That's another thing. And they'll try to make you feel guilty. That's another thing. Like they'll try to make you feel guilty. Another one is you feel like you cannot have a real argument with them because you think that it feels like you can't argue with them because your relationship is fickle. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like fake friends. You feel like an argument cannot out survive the friendship, so you try to keep it civil. It's like when you're an acquaintance with somebody, you don't really argue with them that much because you know one argument can easily destroy because you guys don't owe each other anything. You know, that's one thing that could mark you as a fake friend. But generally, it's long run. It's are they there when times are tough? You know, are they there when times are tough? That's one way. How can you make true friends instead of fake friends? Don't accept fake friends. I mean, it's how can I say this? It's all about you doing what you enjoy doing. Do what you enjoy doing. Make events of things you enjoy doing. Me, I'm gonna start going to drawing classes, to painting classes in a few months. That's how I'm gonna meet other people. But generally, though, you have to go rather than doing things on your own. Try to find other people to do it with you. So go to clubs. I mean, I know it's common sense advice, but that's all you got to do. You just have to do it. Like I could promise you that if you don't have real friends within the next 2 or 3 years, I could promise you it was because you didn't go out as much, or you didn't organize events. I mean, you will listen to this, and because people say this so often, you will ignore it. But that'll be the reason why, you know. But generally, though, to make new friends, man, you just have to be patient. You have to put yourself out there. And what else? Yeah, and also just letting go of the bad friends, being able to just stop texting that one person. You know, like sometimes it's not about adding friends. First, clean your house. Clean your fucking house, my dude. Remove all the fake friends from your life. right? Remove all your fake friends. In fact, disappear and see who comes knocking. If you disappear, who comes knocking? Who said, "Hey, what's up, bro? Where you been?" Who does that? Do you do favors for them and hope the friendship grows strong? No, favors do not grow friendships. Favors don't grow friendships. What grows friendships, in fact, is having an argument and recovering. That's what grows friendships. Going through tough times and recovering, right? So if you argue with a friend and they still come back, those are real friends. You guys just went through, you guys just had your first argument and you guys still became friends. You guys didn't push each other away. You guys didn't hold any resentment. And in fact, you guys were even able to kind of talk about the problem without you or the other person getting defensive. So that's a good indication of a good friend. I've had that. I've had arguments with friends where I knew they were wrong. Like, look, I'm the type of person, I could be stubborn and maybe I've been wrong in the past, but there's been times when I know I'm not wrong. Like when me and everyone knows I'm not wrong. In that case, I was like, man, I hope my friend just hits me up, man. Like I just hope my friend does because I don't want to lose him as a friend. And guess what? My friend hit me up and he was like, hey man, you wanna go on a trip and with you wanna go on a trip with some of our friends. And I was like, yo, bro, man, I don't know about that, man. I didn't like the way you treated me that one time. So I don't know about hanging out with you anymore, man. I was just straight out. Like I was straight out forward with him, right? And I was because I didn't want to say yes and I didn't want to act like nothing happened. I wanted to be straightforward. I was like, yo, bro, I didn't like the way that happened. I want to see his reaction. Was he gonna say, "Well, too bad," or was he gonna say, "Well"? Anyways, let me get ahead. He said, "Oh, yo, bro, you know what? You're 100% right. I even talked about it with them, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I was angry. I don't know, but you're right." And in my head, I'm like, "Man, this is a good friend, man." I'm like, "Yeah, good shit, bro." So guess what? Did I hate him? No. Was I mad at him? Yeah. But because we came back as friends, it made things better. That's how you grow closer with friends, through arguing and reconciliating. But if you can't argue with someone, if you don't feel comfortable enough to argue with someone, are you guys really friends? I mean, an argument, a friendship without arguments, are they really friends? Maybe. I don't know. I doubt that. I doubt that. I mean, think about it. Okay, you know people are friends when it's actually fun looking at them talk. Have you ever known people like that where you just say, "Yo, I just talk, guys. I'll just sit back and listen," and they just argue with each other, or even just looking at them talking is fun. Like you don't even need to be talking to them. You could just sit down and just say, "Talk." I'll just listen, right? Those friendships are those are the really good friendships. Those are the best kind of friendships, right? Where even people like to see you guys talk. That's a real friendship, right? And you can't have that kind of friendship if you never argued and came back as friends. You can't have that kind of friendship if you guys never argued and reconciliated with each other. That's what real friendships are, you know. And yeah, and those friendships, man, it's never too old to make friends. That's also something you gotta have to understand. You just have to put yourself out there. All right, let's keep listening to this. I know goddamn well no one's gonna beat this $50 donation. I know that for goddamn sure. No one's gonna do that shit. No one's gonna do that.
Your true self does not speak in words or banal phrases. Its voice comes from deep within you, from the substrata of your psyche, from something embedded physically within you. It emanates from your uniqueness, and it communicates through sensations and powerful desires that seem to transcend you. You cannot ultimately understand why you are drawn to certain activities or forms of knowledge. This cannot really be verbalized or explained. It is simply a fact of nature. In following this voice, you realize your own potential and satisfy your deepest longings to create and express your uniqueness. It exists for a purpose, and it is your life's task to bring it to fruition. Because we think well of ourselves, but nonetheless never suppose ourselves capable of producing a painting like one of Raphael's or a dramatic scene like one of Shakespeare's, we convince ourselves that the capacity to do so is quite extraordinarily marvelous, a wholly uncommon accident, or if we are still religiously inclined.
You see, and that's why I want you guys to believe. Thank you, Z, for the $5 donation. Do you think we should hang out with older people? Yeah, it's a good idea, man. They're wise. You should definitely hang out with older people. They give you an insight into a perspective of an older person. Like it's really good to hang out with other people. They definitely you could. It's always good. It's always good to hang out with more mature people. 100%. But generally, though, what he's saying, fuck, what was he saying?
In following this voice, you realize your own potential and satisfy your deepest longings to create and express your uniqueness. It exists for a purpose, and it is your life's task to bring it to fruition.
Yeah. So what I want you guys is to believe that you guys can do these things. Guys, I began drawing at 28. At 28 years old. 28. I could have easily said, dude, I'm already old. Why even start? Like, there's professional artists who are 20 better than me, right? That's everyone's belief. I want you guys to know that's fucking fake. That's not true, man. You could master something in 10 years, and then another 10 years pick something else up, and then another 10 years pick something else up, and then end up in 30 years becoming specialized in 3 fields, and then you combine them together to show your uniqueness. It's possible, man. By 30, I'm gonna be a fucking amazing artist. I mean, by when I'm 30, like 30 years from now. I mean, like, you guys have to think that way, man. Think that way. That's how you get the puss, man. That's how you get the pussy. That's how you get the puss. Thinking that way, man. That's how you do it. I'm telling you, man. Please start thinking that way. I want a tribe of masters. That's what I want. I was thinking about that today, of starting a tribe. I'm thinking of naming them masters. I want a tribe of masters. People who are not afraid of following and mastering skills with the intention to master. Not saying I'm just throwing this on a no, motherfuckers, with the intention to master. That's what I want. A tribal masters. Because that's the ultimate mentality, the understanding that your mind is capable of expanding to reaches that is beyond your comprehension. I'm saying like my people, like I'm a goddamn president. Look, man, people, this is possible. I began drawing 6 months ago, and this is what anyone can do. 6 months of drawing. Anyone can improve this fast if they focus on it. Anyone can improve on anything if they focus this much. Like it's you could start at any moment in time in your life. At any moment. Look, man, if I keep improving at this rate, in like 2 years, I'm gonna start getting them art bitches, art bitches. Right now, I'm kidding. I'm already getting the art girls. Anyway, but yeah, man, like it's come on, man, guys. It gives you more dimension. It gives you more depth to your character. Like, for example, I draw, right? But you know what I tell women? I let women find out that I draw like a few weeks into knowing me. Because I want to give them something I want to give them a surprise. I want to make it interesting. I want to always saying, is there something more he's not telling me? You know what I'm saying? But that's not the point. The point is, don't look at me. Just look at the thing that I have and that you supposedly have, which is the brain. Like, this brain is meant to absorb information. And it's a magical thing, because when you find the field that fits your inclinations, your learning process will just triple. It's just will. This is not normal, but it's because I'm applying what this book says. I mean, that's pretty much it. I didn't know jack shit about drawing. I apply what this book says, and guess what? Now we got R. Kelly here trying to defend himself, right? All right. Let's see.
Because we think well of our
Oh hell, Salt, babe. Stop, don't ask me that question. What book, guys? You see, I can't be dealing with those kind of questions, man. What book, really, man? Come on, bro.
selves, but nonetheless never suppose ourselves capable of producing a painting like one of Raphael's or a dramatic scene like one of Shakespeare's, we convince ourselves that the capacity to do so is quite extraordinarily marvelous, a wholly uncommon accident,
Nope.
or, if we are still religiously inclined, a mercy from on high. Thus, our vanity, our self-love, promotes the cult of the genius. For only if we think of him as being very remote from us, as a miraculum, does he not aggrieve us. But aside from these suggestions of our vanity, the activity of the genius seems in no way fundamentally different from the activity of the inventor of machines, the scholar of astronomy or history, the master of tactics. All these activities are explicable if one pictures to oneself people whose thinking is active in...
Oh! What the fuck, dude? Like, you gotta warn some motherfuckers, man. Are you serious, man? Like, all right, we gotta. All right, let's see. I mean, all right, let's see what this dude. Who are you, bro? Who? Tell us who you are, bro. Tell us who you are, bro. This is. Are you AMS? All right. My passion is to learn languages. Do you consider this passion a useful one? Hell yeah. In fact, let me show you this. Watch this after this. What's this called? It's called Mastery, Mindful Attraction, Hieroglyphics. I actually look, there's actually a story of the creation of the interpretation. Here's a link. You can watch it. Of the discovery of the interpretation of the hieroglyphics. It shows you how they were discovered. It's a powerful story, and it's actually from the book Mastery. 100%, because learning languages is not just learning languages, but undoubtedly, if you learn a language, the way you think is just going to be different, fundamentally different. Literally, your brain is different if you know multiple languages. It has to give you an advantage in one way or another, right? But go check that out. Go check that link I just put. I always think of learning more and more languages, but people tell me to choose something else because I won't make any money. I would like to tell you if I should change my passion. Yo, bro, man, if you like to learn languages, go learn your goddamn language, man. Learn it. I mean, it's you have to. It's not about learning the language. It's all about activating that thing inside of you. Just activating, like just move, just go, activate it. Once that gets activated, suddenly things will be more clear. Maybe you realize you like learning languages, or maybe you realize you like teaching it. But you know what? Now the decision making will be quicker because you already took action. You could start the engine, and you start the engine by just taking action. Just start it. And then once you start, then you'll know what to do next. But you got to start. You know what I'm saying? The link don't work. You talking about the link don't work. The link works, bro. All right. There it is. So yeah, man, that's how it is, man. But people tell me to choose something else because I won't make any money. And look, what did he say? He was talking about in the book. He was talking about your false self, right? Your false self, right? Let's listen to that again.
It emanates from your uniqueness, and it communicates through sensations and powerful desires that seem to transcend you. You cannot ultimately understand why.
Now look, that desire you have inside of you is your life force. Is what makes you is your soul. That desire is it's the reflection, is the mental manifestation of your physical uniqueness. What makes you unique is that desire for language. There's no reason why. You have no explanation why you want to learn it, but for some reason you just want to learn it. There's no, and that's what that is. It's pre-verbal. It's something that's just inside of you. But listen to this. So mind you, that's a force. Literally, it's a force. It's a seed. If you don't take action, it won't die, because you could take, as long, if it's part of your inclination, you could take action 30 years from now, and it'll still be there like it was there today. But the point of it is, by taking action, that force begins to guide you. That force guides you in curiosity, like saying, I want to learn that, or suddenly you have more curiosity to learn, and it's easier for you to take action. Why? Because you have activated that force.
To certain activities or forms of knowledge. This cannot really be verbalized or explained. It is simply a fact of nature. In following this voice, you realize your own potential and satisfy your deepest longings to create and express your uniqueness. It exists for a purpose, and it is your life's task to bring it to fruition. Because we think well of ourselves, but nonetheless never suppose ourselves capable of producing a painting like one of Raphael's or a dramatic scene like one of Shakespeare's, we convince ourselves that the capacity to do so is quite extraordinarily marvelous, a wholly uncommon accident, or, if we are still religiously inclined, a mercy from on high. Thus, our vanity, our self-love, promotes the cult of the genius. For only if we think of him as being very remote from us, as a miraculum, does he not aggrieve us. But aside from these suggestions of our vanity, the activity of the genius seems in no way fundamentally different from the activity of the inventor of machines, the scholar of astronomy or history, the master of tactics. All these activities are explicable if one pictures to oneself people whose thinking is active in one direction, who employ everything as material, who always zealously observe their own inner life and that of others, who perceive everywhere models and incentives, who never tire of combining together the means available to them. Genius, too, does nothing but learn first how to lay bricks, then how to build, and continually seek for material and continually form itself around it. Every activity of man is amazingly complicated, not only that of the genius, but none is a miracle. Friedrich Nietzsche.
You guys like this? Like, do you guys like this kind of live stream where I make these kinds of reviews and stuff like that? Cause like I have a lot of things that I would wanna like do, like where it's kind of like read-alongs where I listen, and when I hear something interesting, I stop it and I comment and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep doing that because I enjoy doing it, man. Like it's because a lot of times I listen to books and I'm like, fuck, I want to say this, or fuck, I want to tell people this, but I'm listening to it on my own, you know? And so I'm like, fuck, like I don't want to just do a little live stream and then they go back to reading it. So I'm gonna do that more, man. All right, guys, thank you for listening, man. I can't stay until the $99 donation ends, but thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Z, for holding. Z's literally holding this motherfucker, man. This dude is literally, he's like buying everyone drinks, man. Thank you for answering questions from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate. We could tell you appreciate it. You don't need to tell me that. You could tell you appreciate it. But yeah, man. Thank you everyone for this. Again, I like doing this, man. It's, how can I say this? I get to talk about my favorite book, Mastery. Like I don't think you guys understand how excited I get when I talk about this book. It's because to me, it's everything this book says rings true, you know? And I just want to be able to help you guys see that this is the path you guys have to be in. This is the only path. The path to mastery is the only path that it really is worth it. It's worth sacrificing even your health for the sake of mastery, because it's worth it, man. It's, you know, we sacrifice our health for being lazy. We sacrifice our health for watching TV or for junk food, but you don't want to sacrifice your health, quote unquote, for the expression of who you are. I mean, you do it for other things. Why not for expressing yourself? You know, like we sacrifice our health by consuming stupid shit unwittingly. at least make a conscious effort and sacrifice it to something worth it. You know, you give it as something that's not really worth it. You know. See, my hands are not as ashy, right? It feels like AMS's hands are ashy as shit, right? It's like it must be the calluses, because when he goes like that, it feels like it's, you know, it feels like it's just like dry as shit. I'm like, yo, AMS, get some lotion, bro. We need to give you some goddamn lotion, AMS, because that hands, it's like sparks and shit. Yeah, he starts firing with that, man. Some ashy, dry hands, man. Some ashy hands. But I think it's because when you work out, you get calluses. Because as you can hear this like sweat, right? Anyways, man. All right, guys, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. You guys be safe. Don't forget to purchase. Amos don't upload. When's the last time you uploaded? Don't forget to upload my to purchase my online course, Dark Game. Last time he uploaded was when 4 days ago. Yeah, you're right. That's interesting. He usually uploads every day, man. That's weird. I haven't paid attention. But yeah, I like his video. Hey guys, I recommend you guys watch his channel. I like it a lot. I mean, his perspective is different from mine. I have more. My perspective is more, more into spiritual, more into pickup. He is more like, he's like a Steve Harvey that woke up, like a Steve Harvey that's not a feminist, you know, like a Steve Harvey's evil twin, where he teaches you like fucked up advice that really work. Okay. All right, people. Have a nice day, man. Take care.